Hi everybody, it's Kay here at Home Hot Yoga. I'm here to talk to you today about practicing Bikram yoga with back pain. We have a couple of videos on our YouTube channel which many students have found very helpful. These videos were taken of me just a few days after I threw my back out lifting up one of our kids. I went in just a few classes from not being able to sit or stand for any length of time without excruciating pain to being totally good as new. I know from my own personal experience, but also from the hundreds of students I've helped to heal their own back pain, that Bikram yoga totally works for your back. The heat is helpful for reducing pain and reducing inflammation and keeping your muscles warm for safe stretching. And you can still heal your back even if you can't heat up your room to 105. It's helpful to have a little bit of heat if you can do it, so get your space heater in there, a little humidifier if you can. If it's your back that is bugging you, that's the area of your body you'll want to put layers on to keep it warm. So I would wear a yoga top and then put a long sleeve thermal on and then maybe a pullover sweatshirt as well. Whatever you can do to keep that part of your body warm, that will help your muscles stay warm while you're practicing. A couple of specific considerations when you're practicing with back pain or a back injury. The first thing you really want to look out for is forward bending. If you think about it, how do people throw their backs out? You throw your back out picking up your keys, or you throw your back out shaving your legs. You throw your back out lifting a box and twisting to put it into the moving van. No one ever throws their back out doing a backward bend. Backward bending is super therapeutic for your back. So in class, it's the forward bending you want to look out for. Not only the forward bending, specifically any unsupported forward bending. The way that we make a forward bend more safe is by turning an unsupported bend into a supported forward bend. Padahastasana, hands to feet pose. On a day when you're feeling good, you might go into this posture this way, coming up out of the backward bend, an unsupported forward bend. What we want to do to make this forward bend supported is to get your stomach on your thighs as soon as possible. The instructions are to bend your knees and put your hands on the floor in front of you. So I bend my knees. I put my hands on the floor in front of me. And now I'm really not into a forward bend just yet. Now when I'm going into the forward bend, my stomach is already on my thighs. So I'm totally supported here. And because I'm supported, I can let my back relax. Now I can move my hips right and left, and moving the hips is going to help me relax my back even more. Then I grab my heels from behind and do the posture. When I come out, again, I want to stay supported as long as possible. So, put my hands on my knees, bring my hips down, and then come up even with a straight spine like that. Right? Another way to do it is, you can actually put your hands on your thighs. Right now I'm supported with my hands. And quick as I can, I get my stomach on my thighs, still supported, and then hands to the floor. And then on the way back up, see how my knees are bent? Put my hands on my thighs, lift my chest, right? So the spine is straight, and then come up like that. So I'm using my legs to lift me up rather than my back. If you've ever learned correct lifting technique when you're moving boxes and stuff, you always want to lift with your legs, right, rather than your back. The second thing to consider when you're practicing with back pain is anytime you're standing with a spine straight position, you'll want to really think about tractioning your spine, really creating length in the spine to create space in between the vertebrae. Let's say I'm going to do pranayama breathing. So feet are together nicely, toes and heels touching each other. I could stand like this. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like if I stretch my spine towards the ceiling. I really lift up out of my waist. That's going to take the pressure out of your back. Also make your abdominal muscles stronger so they can support your spine. Backward bending is super therapeutic for your back, so you won't want to skip any of the backward bending postures. If your back is in spasm, so all of the muscles feel like they're tensed up, you really need to move gently into the backward bends, and they might be very uncomfortable, but don't scare. The heat is going to help you relax the muscles, and also backward bending is going to help you relax those muscles. You gotta do the backward bending, but do it to tolerance. No pain in the class. Pain is never a therapeutic sensation, and we practice a therapeutic yoga. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. The first backward bend in the class, the half moon pose backward bend. I take a deep breath, drop my head back as far as it goes, look at the floor behind me, and now arms back immediately. Try to touch the wall behind you. Maybe that is my backward bend. If there's so much tension in my lower back, my muscles are seized up, maybe this is as far as I can go. Maybe I can reach my arms back a little bit farther. So that's really gentle, but I am moving the spine in the right direction. If you've been to the studio, you've seen this guy at the desk. He's our happy spine. Because if you have a happy spine, you'll have a happy life. And I use this model to demonstrate why forward bending is where you want to be really careful and why backward bending is so good for the spine. So this is the front of the body and this is the back of the body. These are your vertebrae. These are the intervertebral discs. And this is the spinal cord and the spinal nerve. These go out to all of the different organs and parts of your body. Most disc problems, disc herniations or bulging discs that you may have heard about, they bulge to the back, right, towards these nerves. And that's why if you have a bulging disc, you're going to experience pain even in other parts of your body because these nerves go out of the spine. It's very, very rare for discs to herniate forwards. With that in mind, when you do a forward bend, if you use your imagination, you can see that when you bring the fronts of the vertebrae toward each other, that encourages the disc back. And when the disc pushes out back, it can start to put pressure on these nerves. When you backward bend, you do this, and you can see how this encourages the discs to push this way away from the nerves. Backward bending, like I said, is super therapeutic for your spine. But you may say, well, I don't know if I have a bulging disc or any disc problem. My back just hurts, it feels muscular. The muscles are in spasm. And this is what I was experiencing in those videos on YouTube. My back muscles were in spasm. They were hard as a rock. You couldn't even tell where bone began and muscle ended. When your muscles spasm, it's usually because they're trying to protect you from something. Probably something happened in my spine. Maybe a disc was pushed back. Maybe something got out of alignment a little bit. And my muscles felt it. Ooh, we gotta protect that. It's a safety precaution my muscles were taking, not to let anything get worse. The reason that I had to keep moving and get those muscles to relax is in order to put this all back into place. It's so important that you keep moving if you have a back injury, but you have to move in the right way. And the right way, if you have an injury, is to do gentle stretching without causing any pain. So when you're practicing with an injury, you may need to do a whole lot less than you're used to doing when you practice normally. And that's what those YouTube videos will show you. It's an example of what it might look like to do a whole lot less. I hope this was helpful to you. Please feel free to reach out to us here at Home Hot Yoga if you have any questions about practicing with back pain or any other injury. We're happy to help. I'll see you in class really soon.